Let's talk potholes, shall we? Because public satisfaction with how often they're seen locally is no better than 10% in more than a third of English council areas, according to new research. The AA described the figures as dismal and called for an end to the vicious cycle of potholes being patched up only to reappear. Hereford Council received 5% in satisfaction, while Shropshire scored 6%, and the same for Staffordshire. Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced in her budget last month that the government will aim to fund work to fix an additional 1 million potholes in the 2024-25 financial year by increasing local roads maintenance funding in England by £500 million to nearly £1.6 billion. But will this really make a difference, or is the damage been truly done? Scott Dixon is a consumer and motoring disputes expert who hosts the Facebook page The Complaints Resolver and joins me now. Hi, Scott.
Hiya, Tony. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. And are potholes the biggest complaint for the public?
Along with private parking tickets, yes. It used to be a winter problem, but it's a problem all year round now, Tony. And the problem is, as you pointed out earlier, the potholes are not repaired properly, and there's a vicious cycle. And I've always said if the potholes were repaired properly to the correct specification and criteria, there will be more money available to repair more potholes. And that's part of the problem. The potholes are just simply not being repaired properly.
Would you think that the councils are having to work within their means with the budget that they've got as to what materials they can use?
Well, there are budget constraints, and we can all accept that. But equally, there's so many strands to this, and the councils are spending increasing amounts in legal fees to defend pothole compensation claims, rather than actually spending the money on repairing the potholes to the correct specification and criteria. And to give you an example, Devon County Council spent £33,232 on legal fees. And I mean, this goes across the whole of the country, this problem. 13 out of 18 councils across the UK, according to the RAC, revealed that they spent more than £166,000 on legal fees to defend pothole claims from motorists. And what you're having is councils are claiming that they don't know about any potholes. And Gloucestershire County Council, they're using what's called the Section 58 defence. All of the councils across the UK are increasingly relying on this defence by citing that they can only be aware of potholes if they know that they exist. And Gloucestershire County Council denied 100% of all claims, largely on that defence.
Well, we'll see what our councils have to say about the situation shortly. We have statements from many of the county councils. But, I mean, satisfaction rates of 5%, 6%. This is terrible. Do you think that the chance of chucking more money at it is actually going to make the difference?
I don't think it will now, Tony. I think we're beyond that point now, and we're in what you would call a state of managed decline. And the money that Rachel Reeves has cited, 500 million increase to nearly 1.6 billion, it only scratches the surface. It's estimated that we need £16.3 billion invested across England and Wales to bring the roads up to scratch, and continually patching and filling in potholes. It's not working. We need a resurfacing programme now across the whole roads network. And it's interesting, there's always been what's called a risk-based approach to potholes, but over the past 3 years, local authorities have quietly switched the direction on this. And what they're doing is they're making it more difficult for motorists to seek compensation for pothole damage. And previously, policies were also risk-based, but potholes had a defined exact dimension, so they had to be a certain size and depth. And it was an objective decision for staff, whereas now the new policies are watered down, and they don't define the dimensions of potholes. So you can have two identical potholes, and they can be treated differently by different staff due to judgment.
And a pothole is a pothole, particularly if you're only going to be on two wheels and you hit that in the dark.
Well, it depends on which local authority you lodge a claim against, because some local authorities say it has to be 40 millimetres deep, and it's interesting. Well, I say interesting. I know more about potholes than it's healthy, but it's not defined on the width of the pothole. It's the depth, and different local authorities treat the depth of potholes differently, and it's just a lottery as to whether you can get a claim over the line. And it's very difficult now because local authorities, they're just making it increasingly impossible, and they're making it difficult to the point where motorists are having to they're pushing against they're
just pushing against the system. Is it easy for us to actually report the potholes in the first place?
It is, and I mean the first thing you need to do is report it, and you can what you do is take a photo if you can, and report it, and you can do this by fixmystreet.com or fillthathole.org.uk, or you can contact the local authority direct by phone, and always take photos if you can to evidence your claim, and maybe use a bottle of water or a can of pop to measure the depth, because that's the crucial part now with pothole claims. And they will ask you to provide a sketch with your claim to pinpoint the pothole, because there's that many, they just don't know which pothole that you're referring to.
Right, okay.
And if you have damaged your car, get an estimate for the cost of repairs and provide a copy receipt, because you are seeking a full refund for the damage caused due to the negligence of the local authority, and you need to submit that claim from the outset. And most of the claims are denied on the first attempt by the claims handlers. They rely on standard paragraphs to decline all claims. So what you need to do is get ahead of the curve and submit a Freedom of Information request and ask for 12 months worth of inspection reports. How many times the pothole's been reported, when was the last repair made, and was it reported before you hit it? And you can find out how many times it's been reported by fixmystreet.com and fillthathole.org.uk. And the problem that